Okay, so greetings from Budapest. As you can see, it's very foggy out there, and there's lots and lots of snow. And get back to the cosy inside. I'm trying to avoid Vladimir Putin as well, who's in town today. Half of Pest is closed down, but we in Buda are okay. Right, so Kirsty has asked me to do a 15-minute little video with a bit of an update of the things that I've been doing, and then a little bit of methodology as well, which I think might fit in with the rest of things that you're doing today. I hope it's all gone well so far, and I hope, Kirsty, that you've recovered from the virus. Hello everybody. I've been involved in, I think, 9 or it could even be 10 staff development sessions, so it's nice to be involved in this one remotely. Okay, so what have I been up to since the summer? September was conferences, Czech Republic in Prague, and then I hooked up with Kirsty in Szczecin in Poland, which was very good. And after that, went and visited some schools of people who'd been on our courses in the summer. The course that I do with Uwe, I had 2 Polish teachers, Agnieszka and Eva, and I visited their schools, and also visited Anna's school in Zgorzelec. She's one of the members of the ITEFL committee, who's a big fan of Sol, and who's actually coming in May and bringing a group of 20 students, yeah, which is good. And we're still working on the group with Agnieszka and Eva. Very important to follow up these visits, you know, and get the coordinators working on them. Then I was in Slovakia for a conference at the end of September, and that was with Anna Averova, our coordinator in Slovakia, and it's good to be working with her, and I'll be going up in the next few weeks to see her again in Bratislava to talk about our Sol camp, which will be in August. And there was the Hungarian ITEFL conference. Grenville managed to get to that one, which was really nice. And then after that there was another follow-up to that with a branch regional meeting of ITEFL Hungary. And there was a Macedonian conference in Struga, where I hooked up with Dragica, our coordinator there, visited lots of schools and the university, had an appearance on television talking about Bob Dylan, which was very exciting. And then Romania, which was great. That was about 10 days. Again, visited lots of schools in Bucharest, in Cluj, in Brașov, in Aroid, in Seke Udvarhe, names you might know, some of you, Aureliana and Florian, Adriana, Georgi, Carmen, and this was all very good, you know, to kind of cement our relationships, and I think it's good for the future. And then there was a Polish workshop, 2 actually, which came out of the conference in Szczecin. And the person who's the head of the teacher development special interest group, Agnieszka, me and Grenville have been working on a visit with a few teachers, maybe at the end of June, if she gets the finance. Again, a good example of working with the teacher association. She's from Wrocław. Coming up soon, Croatia, the Croatia conference, which I heard that you're coming to, Kirsty, which would be great. I'm doing 3 things there: a live lesson, a workshop, and I've been asked to do a 15-minute talk about the HUPA, that's the Croatian Teacher Association, as somebody from the outside who's been involved for over 20 years. And I think Grenville went to the first one and has been there about 20 times too. After that there'll be a Ukrainian tour, visiting some of our friends there, and then straight to Brno, which would be a first for us. There's a park conference there, so I hope that one goes well. and then after that there'll be Serbia, maybe another few days in Romania, the Bosnian conference in Bihać, and then back to Devon for the Stara Zagora, Bulgarian group, and if this happens, the group from Poland. So that's a short kind of summary of things that I've been doing and what I've been going to do. I enjoy it immensely. I think it's valuable work, and hope to carry on with it. Okay, now if Mogsy can give me the camera, I'll just take you through a few methodology ideas, which I think are useful. Learner autonomy, I always think is an important thing that we need to concentrate on at the beginning of courses. How to get students to think about how they can make the most of their time in Devon. Yeah? So this kind of little activity, how to learn the most over the next few days. Get the students to quietly write down on their own what they're going to do over the next few days to learn more English, then share it in groups of 3 or 4. Get the group to nominate a spokesperson to report back on the ideas, put everything up on the board, add anything that you think as a teacher would be important, get everybody to take a photo of the board and come back to it the next morning and get people in groups to discuss what they've done and repeat it every day. And then say to them, good luck, have fun, make the most of it. It's a great chance, great opportunity. Most people learning English in the world don't get a chance to visit a mainly English-speaking country. Okay, so that's one thing. Language in the community. I know you're going off to Bideford this afternoon and looking at opportunities for language learning. I think this is something that we do well and something that we can do more of. And this is an example that I worked on a little bit with both a teacher group and a student group last summer, and you'll recognise it, I'm sure. In Paul will certainly know this and probably go shopping there. Rather than the local Tesco, the Delica Devon, the little shop there, and I think it's good to do a little bit of work beforehand in class on this, on the origin of the word deli, delicatessen, delicious, when these things first came into Britain and what they are, and then when you're actually there, you can get students to take a photograph of what this is kind of permanent sign outside the shop to get them to have a look at the kind of things that are sold there, and then get them to think about which things are from Devon and which things are from somewhere else, and what they think might be newer things, and then to work with this with the host family, to show the host family the photographs and to ask them which of these things they might eat, which not, what when they were young, what they ate, and how their eating habits have changed. I think food is a great theme. I know you're going to be after this with Catherine looking at themes. Food, I think, is always a brilliant thing to spend time on. And of course here as well they can look at which things have got Devon in front of them, or Cornwall or Cornish. Yeah? But it's part of the linguistic landscape as this is, and this is just round the corner opposite the bus stop, the pet shop. 5 signs of a well-beloved pet, They can take a photograph to look at it and go inside. And again, this is animals, pets, is a very important theme. And compared to people in Central Eastern Europe, the role of pets is very different in British society, and with charity and the RSPCA and. So that's another thing there in Westwood Ho, and finally, again before they go off to Westwood Ho, you could you could work with this little thing here. If you're in a crisis or a difficult situation, what do you try to do when you have problems with people? How do you behave? How do you look at yourself? Yeah, and elicit some ideas from that, and then you could feed in some of these things, little bits of language to believe in yourself, not to blame others, be patient, don't become overconfident or too self-confident, and don't feel hatred for others. Yeah? And then when you actually get to Westward Ho, and this is where Paul lives. I'm not sure, Paul, whether your flat is actually on there or not. You can tell the others where it is that you live. But if you go to Westward Ho on the bus and you get off just here, and then you get the students to go into the have a look at the plaque, yeah, and go into the on the grass there. I'll just read this out. I think you can read it there. This terrace of 12 houses was occupied by the United Services College, September 1874 to March 1904. Rudyard Kipling was educated here, January 1878 to July 1882. And Cornell Price, the first headmaster. Actually, before you do anything about Kipling, or you can get them to look at the bill, and I did this, look at the building. I did this with both teachers and students, and to get them in pairs to discuss what they think that building used to be, and how old it might have been. And then you can mention the name Rudyard Kipling, see if anybody has heard of Rudyard Kipling, and talk about the Jungle Book. And then to come back to the introduction, to remind them of what we did in class with the 5-minute activity. And then this is the first verse of If, which is one of the most famous poems in the English language. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. Now, this is the text, and this is what I did last summer.
If you can keep your head when all about
a group
you
from
are losing
Serbia.
theirs and blaming it on you. And blaming it on you.
So this is a little dictation that you can see that I'm getting the students to do. It was...
If you can trust yourself, when all men doubt you,
Okay, so I carried on with the dictation, yeah? Just took about 3 or 4 minutes. I'll just come to the end, yeah?
Nor talk too wise. Okay, that's it, and we'll come back to this in about half an hour in another place in Westward Ho, where you will see this poem on the pavement, where you will see this verse, and you will check on the pavement to see if you've spelt it correctly. And then...
Okay, yeah, and then they go and have a look at it.
Can you read me the first 2 lines?
Yeah.
Show it to me, yeah?
Alright.
Can you show it to me?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
But I have everything because it isn't step there.
Here it is, yeah? Yeah. If you can keep your head. Now, if you have a look here and follow it, yeah? So, can you read it here? Can you read it to me?
Yeah.
You start reading it.
If you can keep your head, just a second. Head.
Check what you've written. Check.
When all about, no, around you. You are losing parents.
It's a fabulous text, I think, this, yeah? And
Check it. Check what you've written, yeah? And
Losing theirs and
and a fun thing that you can do with your students, and then you can follow up in
carry on
class.
to the end. Read it right to the end, yeah?
You can follow up in class afterwards, yeah? Okay, so that's all. Enjoy Bideford this afternoon, and Tim, if you're there, collect all your Virginia wrappers to use in class with the mosaic when we look at the emigration and immigration and Virginia, and these are things that we can do as a theme. I think tobacco is a great thing to have a look at. I don't smoke it myself, but I have actually had the tobacco and got them to feel it in class and smell it. You know, I think it's good to engage the senses. And greetings and good luck for the rest of the day. And we're on 16 minutes 26 seconds there. Okay. Bye.